So, over 3 years ago, my idea was to go over to people's houses, record with them, mics and, H4, Zoom, and just talk to them about anything that came up, whether it was deep or light, or talk about family, or talk about your childhood, or talk about stories, talk about comedy, whatever it was. That was the idea. And my very first podcast I had with a guy named Monty, and it was fucking unexpectedly awesome. Because I just love it. I love talking one-on-one to people. I'm a Capricorn, and that's one of the aspects that we do. Love talking deep. Like Howard Stern or something. I don't know. So, I was just going to put them up like any old other podcast. My unique thing was that I went over to their house, but I didn't do it. Laziness, fear, I don't know what it was, I think it's fear and lazy and procrastinate, and I blame this and that and don't do it. I think ultimately fear. So, God, this is rambling. I apologize. Let me get through with this. Alright, here we go. I just want to do this in one take. God dang it. This is like 54th time I've done this. For hours. It's after 10 o'clock. I started at 6. Over 4 hours. And shut up, Darren. Alright. My plan is to go back 3.5 years to the very first podcast that I did and get 3 things out of that podcast as I listen to it. One thing would be any comedy bits. I will write them down and start doing open mics and try and perfect those comedy bits. Second thing I get out of any of those podcasts, if there's a story, and I'll whittle that story down to a tight 5 minutes and do it up at the Moth and record that and see how it goes. And then the third thing I'll get out of it is any piece of advice that I can walk the walk in the now and follow to improve my life, because my goal on this is to improve my life, become a better dad, get some balance going, and get out of this rut that I'm in. So I'm using this as that medium, or an actual podcast as that medium. The cool factor that I plan on making it most unique is that it's going to be more like a pop-up audio type thing. As I edit it and listen to it, I will also fill in things in the now that I was thinking back then to explain or to fill in a story that might not have gotten told all the way or properly, or what's happening in the now as compared to what I thought back then, or what happened on that prediction, whatever it is. Yeah, so it's like a meta podcast. And I'll talk about what I did and learned from the last one, and so forth and so on, all the way through. And as I'm doing that, I'll still be recording people and talking to them, but I hope to really improve by listening to myself and getting to the one take like I'm trying to do here. Anyways. Yeah. Debo's Heavy Metacast. If it sounds like a unique idea, or you have some opinion on it, or I don't know, get some feedback, email me at thedboproject at gmail.com. Anyways, I can use the encouragement. Yeah, thanks.